Yes, people, what's going on? Just walking out of Wembley right now where Manchester United have beaten Brighton. And it took us to get to penalties to beat them. Yes, I've been so uncertain about this one. For the whole week or two, even before we lost against Sevilla, I was sitting there thinking that Manchester United are going to lose against Brighton. And I was sitting there thinking that today as well. When it was in normal time, when it was in extra time, when it was at penalties, I was just sitting there thinking Manchester United are going to lose. But somehow, some way, Manchester United got the win. Brighton skied one of their penalties. Victor Lindelof scores the winner. And Manchester United are through to the FA Cup final to take on Manchester City. And that is going to be a huge game for Manchester United, because we could potentially stop them from winning the treble. You know, if they get to the Champions League final, and they're in the final against AC or Inter Milan, we've got to stop them from potentially doing a treble. So it takes an even more importance for Manchester United, more importance than just trying to get our second trophy in Erik ten Hag's first season. And what a first season it's been under Erik ten Hag. I know we lost against Sevilla on Thursday, and we stopped our chance from going through to the last four in the Europa League. But for me, it's so important to be winning the FA Cup. The FA Cup is one of my favourite competitions, and if we're not winning the Premier League and we're not winning the Champions League, I want to be winning the FA Cup. And I really want to win the FA Cup against Manchester City. Forget the fact that we could stop them from winning the treble. Forget the fact that, you know, it's Erik ten Hag's first season and that. I just fucking love the FA Cup. And today, I don't think it was a vintage Manchester United performance. You look at the Reds' performance from back to front. David De Gea made some crucial saves. Yes, he did. But we had no hope during the penalty shootout. And again, I was sitting there and I was saying to the lads next to me, they need to score. They need to sky one for us to potentially win this, because David De Gea isn't going to save a penalty. And that was exactly how it went. He skied one. Victor Lindelof scores the next one. And Manchester United are through. It was a great assortment of penalties, to be fair. Everyone taking their penalties, everyone scoring, everyone making sure they weren't putting their team at risk until that final Brighton penalty. And Brighton were excellent on the day. I was fearing, you know, Danny Welbeck and his boys would knock us out of the FA Cup, but it wasn't to be. And we bounced back from that defeat against Sevilla. And how important is that? I mean, the performance wasn't great. Of course, the defence kept a good clean sheet. David De Gea made a few good saves. But in terms of attacking, in terms of creating chances, in terms of really doing anything, apart from the save that Marcus Rashford drew from the keeper in the second half, I don't think Manchester United really did create anything. So, you know, in that sense, we could do a lot more. We can do a lot better. But to bounce back from that result against Sevilla, to bounce back from that devastating defeat, and with 2 days rest, to come to Wembley against a Brighton team who are very, very good, against a Brighton team who create good chances, who play good football, to be able to stick in a performance like that was excellent from Manchester United. And it just shows you how far we have come under Erik ten Hag. Yes, we're still short in some positions. Yes, we're still short in terms of our squad. Yes, we still need to bring in loads of players. You know, we need a centre-back. We need a central midfielder. We potentially need a full-back. We need another striker, that's for sure. But under Erik ten Hag, even without the squad the way he would want it, he's able to dig in. He's able to get results. He's able to do things even when our backs are up against the wall. There are times where United would have felt sorry for themselves after that game against Sevilla midweek. They would have felt sorry for themselves, gone into the next game and lost that as well. But that's not the way it's gone. Manchester United are looking like a team that's got resilience, are looking like a team that have got a little bit about them, and are looking like a team that can bounce back when things are going wrong. Now, we still got a long way to go under Erik ten Hag. We've still got a lot of development to do. We've still got a lot of signings to make. But this resilience, that backbone, that, you know, just a little bit of something is important for Manchester United. And we showed that today. Yes, we weren't great. Yes, we didn't play great football. Yes, we didn't score any goals. But we showed resilience. We showed a backbone. And Brighton in the second half weren't that good. They had their few chances in the first half and in extra time, but in the second half, United dominated most of the game. Do you know what I mean? So, all in all, man, I'm absolutely delighted with the performance and mainly the result, not the performance. I'm delighted with the result. I'm delighted to be into the next round. I'm delighted to have that opportunity to go up against Manchester City in the FA Cup final. And getting like that, the Europa League quarterfinals, as much as I would have liked to have still been in that competition, you look at the final of the FA Cup, it's like 2 days after the Europa League final. Imagine after to play the Europa League final 2 days before you play Man City in an FA Cup final. So maybe you know, especially considering that I love the FA Cup a little bit more than I do the Europa League, maybe that is a blessing in disguise that we can go into that game with a week's rest before it. Of course, you want to play in finals and you want to be in the Europa League final and you want to have that opportunity to get the cup treble. But maybe it's a blessing in disguise that we can go into that game, you know, with a with more rest than we would have if we were in the Europa League. Today, again, the team, we need to be playing better. It was good to see Anthony Martial out there because after he got injured against Sevilla, I thought that's the last I'll see of him in a Man United shirt. So it was good to see him out there. It was good to see the team performing and battling and fighting, even with that fatigue in them, because some of those boys out there are tired. Those boys are tired. Trust me, they're tired. And so to get that result today, absolutely massive. By hook or by crook, we got it. And now we go to that final where hopefully we can beat Manchester City. The Wembley Arch is red. Look at that. I filmed this, by the way, inside the ground. But for some reason, the audio didn't record. So I sat there for 8 minutes like a twat recording a video. And the video didn't even record. But here we are outside Wembley. Manchester United are through to the next round of the FA Cup. And we will be taking on Manchester City in that final. It was not a vintage performance from the Reds. But we kept the clean sheet. We stuck in there, we battled, we fought, we got to extra time, we got to penalties, and then we won it there. And we took all of our penalties with class. We didn't miss one of them. And that's all you can ask for, because today was one of those days. Win the game by hook or by crook, win the game by any means necessary, and that is exactly what we did. So yeah, absolutely buzzing with the result for Manchester United. Not so much with the performance, although there was a lot of resilience on show in that performance. There was a lot of, you know, grit and determination. Look, United have got the job done, and that's all that matters. And we seem to be doing that under Erik ten Hag. Even if we haven't got that fully fit squad that we would want, and that squad with all the signings, we still need to make a load of signings, and we still need to hope that this sale of the club's done soon. Because when the sale of the club is done, Manchester United can make sure that we can make all our transfers and we can make things like that happen. But today, we're through to the next round of the Cup. Manchester United still, oh man, I'm buzzing. Especially after that result against Sevilla midweek. Because after that, I was fearing the worst. I can't lie. So to come here today and beat Brighton, absolutely fantastic. And apologies that you've had to put up with 8 minutes of me just absolutely waffling. But as you can tell, I'm a little bit tipsy. I'm a little bit gone. But Manchester United are going to the FA Cup final, and we will be back here doing it all over again. So make sure you're keeping it locked to AdamMcKola TV. Make sure you're keeping it locked to Stretford Paddock. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Erik ten Hag's Reds are on the march to Wembley. And we're going to shake them up when we win the FA Cup. Because United are the greatest football team. Let's go Reds. See you in a bit.